These pedophiles, there's a reason they went in and exploited the Boy Scouts for so many years. There's a reason so many of them pop up at a place like Nickelodeon. They go where the children are. That's why the organization has a heightened duty to be vigilant about background checks and protection mechanisms and checking in with the children and making sure no one's ever unsupervised and certainly not spending the night at anybody's house because of this problem, this very foreseeable issue.
Yeah, I mean, that's a red flag number one for me personally when I see people, wanting to hang around children. Even though children are amazing, it's always a little bit bizarre when someone's an adult, is really wanting to constantly hang around children. And so that should be honestly the first red flag for me personally. And then obviously you look further, but that's number one for me, just because some adults wanting to hang out with children 24/7 is a little bit concerning, unless this is your child or this is your child's friend and they're having a play date. Those things are normal, but it is a little bit of a red flag when an adult is so interested in children. And we know from the Catholic Church, for example, this is how these things happen. They're looking for access to children, and so they'll gravitate towards environments that give them access to children, which is why Nickelodeon has the responsibility where they're on the lookout for that, and not even on the lookout for that, being extremely protective to make sure that no one's getting too close, no one's acting in a type of way that could lead to actual abuse.
Yes, and yet it wasn't just the hostile work environment alleged against Dan Schneider. It wasn't just Brian Peck and Drake Bell. The names keep coming. Jason Handy, I mean the name, but he was responsible for shepherding the children from A to B on set. Of course, there's going to be somebody who says like, now you're going over here for your, homeschooling. And now you got to go over here and work your lines with Brian Peck. And now you got to go out here and do the scenes. And he was the guy. And the pictures of him in the docuseries, he's like kind of attractive. He's got $1 million smile. He seems really upbeat and fun. And you know what? He describes himself as a pedophile. And he was caught because a little girl named Brandy, who had been guest starring, she appeared, I think, in an episode or two on one of the popular shows. He struck up a relationship with her, like, work with me, I can get you connected. I've got, all these industry connections. And the mom was like, yeah, okay, I thought that would be great. A connection from her stint on the show. The next thing you know, he sends her a naked picture of himself masturbating. She's a little girl. And God bless this family, because a lot of parents were like, I don't want to participate. I don't want to pursue the charges. I don't want my kid involved any further than she's been. But she did testify against him. And this guy, he went down as well. He pleaded no contest to multiple charges, was ordered to serve a 6-year prison sentence, released in 2009, moved to North Carolina, registered as a sex offender. 2014, arrested on 3 counts of indecent liberties with a child and 2 counts of sex offender registry violations. Now he's serving a sentence at the Federal Correctional Institution in Virginia. He'll be released in 2038. These are the staffers around these children at Nickelodeon, right around the time that you were there. It just seems, I don't know, because let me ask you this. When I read these statements that the docuseries producers put up at the end of every episode, and I'll read some of them too to make sure that the defenses are aired here. What I hear is Nickelodeon's changes policies to try to do better. That's literally, it's like, and? Like,
yeah.
What have they done? Who's been fired? Who's taking responsibility? Where's the accountability?
Yeah, I mean, again, we must remember that most likely the person who Drake's dad went to was Brian Robbins. And so it's kind of a joke to hear Nickelodeon say that when, their their current president, was a person who did not protect Drake Bell. In my opinion, and if anything, got promoted and is behind that statement today. So, when I hear these things, this is just the entertainment industry in a nutshell, where they are constantly promoting, financially rewarding the people that do not protect, their employees, do not protect the children, and they discard the survivors, the victims of abuse. And that's just the pattern time and time again. And listening to Nickelodeon, you can just tell it's a bunch of lawyers in a room finding the right words to protect their, I wouldn't say asses, protect themselves and not actually protect the children. You know what I mean? That's what it sounds like to me. And I think in that statement, they also talked about formal complaints. Like when a formal complaint happens, we take it really seriously. Well, for example, Drake's dad went to Brian Robbins, most likely, and they blocked Drake's dad from making a formal complaint. What should have happened, what Brian Robbins should have done was say, wow, I hear you. Let's make a formal complaint. Let's get rid of this guy if he is a concern to you. And that's what should have happened. But no, instead they gaslit the dad and eventually let the dad get cut out of the whole picture, because who else does that benefit? Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Well, here's what happens time and time again. They hire an outside law firm and then suddenly everything goes away. Oh, we looked into it. Nothing came of it. Or like, we looked into it and something was done. We're not going to share it with you. Or they don't hire an outside law firm and they investigate themselves, which we all know how that always works out.
Yeah, that's not going to be a trusted source whatsoever. I mean, when you think about Jeanette McCurdy's book, for example, right, and you think about Nickelodeon's statement when it came to Dan Schneider saying we did not find any type of behavior like this when it came to our investigation with Dan Schneider. Hello, didn't you try to get Jeanette McCurdy to sign an NDA? Didn't you try to get her to sign an NDA before she left Nickelodeon? And did you talk to Jeanette McCurdy? Because she sure sounded like she had a lot to say about her experience at Nickelodeon. So when I hear statements in general from these lawyers, corporations, institutions, their main goal is to protect the company and protect their money, their property, essentially. And so you just look at it and go, okay, cute. Cute, but we know what really happened.
Okay, so I want to read Nickelodeon's statement regarding the alleged behaviors on past production sets. Though we cannot corroborate or negate allegations of behaviors from productions decades ago, Nickelodeon, as a matter of policy, investigates all formal complaints as part of our commitment to fostering a safe and professional workplace environment free of harassment or other kinds of inappropriate conduct. Our highest priorities are the well-being and best interests of not just our employees, cast, and crew, but of all children. And we have adopted numerous safeguards over the years to help ensure we're living up to our own high standards and the expectations of our audience. Other statements we will post on our show page on YouTube and on my MegynKelly.com. Debt. You can go to bed thinking about it. You can wake up thinking about it too. Here's the truth. The system traps you in debt. High interest credit cards and loans make it nearly impossible to pay off your debt, and insane inflation keeps you stuck paycheck to paycheck. Done with Debt can be your lifeline. Done with Debt has an ingenious new strategy to help erase your debt faster and easier than you thought possible. Done with Debt analyzes all the debt options that you qualify for. They know how to reduce bills. They know how to cut interest rates. Their skilled staff of negotiators know how to get debt out of your life permanently, without bankruptcy and without a loan. Done with Debt has experts who can share with you strategies for eliminating debt. But you do need to hurry because some debt solutions are time sensitive. Here's how easy they make it. Go to donewithdebt.com. 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 Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.